Hello, everyone. I hope you are having a good day. But even if you are not, I invite you to stay and listen. This might be the most significant, a little challenging, and perhaps even transformative story you will hear on this platform. Not because I am extraordinary and not because this topic is unheard of, but because of one stark, unavoidable reality. You and I, we are both given 24 hours each day. So are the billionaires. So are the elite athletes. So are the world leaders. And yet, some individuals use those 24 hours to construct empires, while others spend them scrolling, complaining, and waiting for an inspiration that never arrives. That is what makes this story so potent, because if you listen with an open mind, you can no longer deceive yourself. You will not be able to say, "I do not have enough time," because after this, you will understand exactly how to command your time. And if you still choose not to act, the truth is not that you are trapped. You are simply comfortable with letting your life slip away. But I know something about you. You do not want to waste your life. You aspire to achieve more, become more, create more, transform your habits, learn English, build your dream, but your time is flowing away whether you use it or not. So, in this story, I will reveal not just 10 random suggestions, but 10 of the most powerful, authentic, and proven methods to use your 24 hours like the most accomplished people on Earth. I am not here to give you a fleeting 5 minutes of motivation. I am here to reshape the way you view your day, your habits, and your destiny. And if you are serious, truly serious, then by the end of this story, you will have no excuses left, only choices. Because once you learn how to wield your 24 hours correctly, your future ceases to be a question. It becomes a decision. Not only is this story powerful and life-altering, but it is also designed to help you improve your English in a simple and immersive way. Let us begin. Method 1. Design tomorrow before you sleep tonight. Most people lose their morning the night before. Let us be truthful. How do most people end their day? They check their phones, scroll through feeds for 30 to 60 minutes, worry about their problems, and maybe think, tomorrow, I will try to do better. Then they fall asleep without a clear direction, without clarity, without a strategy. So what is the outcome? They wake up feeling disoriented and mentally exhausted. They squander the first 2 to 3 hours just trying to figure out, what should I do today? By the time they have decided, half their day has vanished. But the top 1% of achievers do the exact opposite. They treat their evening as a launch pad. They do not just let tomorrow happen to them. They architect it. Here is what you should do before you go to sleep every single night. Take 5 minutes. Write down 3 main objectives for the next day. Not 10, just 3. Visualize yourself completing them. Place that list next to your bed. This is not merely a productivity hack. This is how you train your mind to awaken with focus, not fog. Imagine 2 individuals. Let us call them Ben and Alex. Ben goes to sleep after watching 40 short videos. Alex writes down, finish English module, draft 1 project proposal, call the client at 3 p.m. When they both wake up, who do you think moves with more purpose? Alex does not need to waste mental energy deciding what to do. He simply executes the plan. Over a single day, the difference might seem small, but over 30 days, Ben is running in circles while Alex is building a future. This is not about achieving perfection. It is about living with intention. Why this works is that your brain continues to process what you have written down while you sleep. Planning at night provides mental tranquility and clarity for the morning. It silences the overthinking mind because your brain knows there is already a plan in place. Every night before you sleep, write down 3 things you commit to doing tomorrow. This small ritual will reclaim your time, grant you focus, and make you feel powerful each morning. Start with this one day at a time, but repeat it every single night. This is how your dream begins, not in the morning light, but in the quiet of the night before. Method 2. Conquer the first hour of your day like a warrior, not a victim. What do most people do in their first hour? They reach for their phone. They check messages, scroll through news feeds, and open notifications. They have not even gotten out of bed, and already their brain is tired, distracted, and unfocused. They have not even brushed their teeth, but they have already consumed 30 pieces of random information. They have not had a single conversation with their inner self, but they have allowed the entire world to speak first. And then they complain, "I feel so lazy. I have no motivation." That is not laziness. It is mental overload. You are not tired. You are just fragmented. If you want to seize control of your day, your energy, your thoughts, and your productivity, you must seize control of your first hour. I am not asking for perfection. I am not suggesting you wake up at 4 a.m., take an ice bath, read 3 books, and meditate on a mountaintop. No, I am saying that for the first 60 minutes after you wake up, dedicate that time to yourself, not to the world. Because that first hour is where your identity for the day is forged. That is where the winners secure their victory, not in the afternoon, not at night, but in the stillness of their morning. Now, let us go deeper. What should you do in that first hour? Keep it simple yet intentional. Divide it into 3 parts. First, stillness for 10 to 15 minutes. Sit quietly. Breathe deeply. Close your eyes. Allow your brain to awaken gently, not with a jarring alarm, but with quiet awareness. You do not need to meditate like a sage. Just sit and listen to the rhythm of your breath. Why? Because this teaches your brain to find calm before the chaos of the day begins. Second, movement for 10 to 20 minutes. Stretch your body. Take a walk, do some jumping jacks, dance, move in any way that gets your blood flowing and increases oxygen. This sends a signal to your brain, we are alive. We are in command. Let us begin. Movement creates momentum, and momentum shatters laziness. Third, clarity for 20 to 30 minutes. Take out a notebook. Write 3 things. 1 thing you are grateful for, 1 key objective for the day, and 1 empowering sentence to remember, such as "My time is my power." Or you could read a chapter of a book, listen to an educational audio, or learn 5 new English words. This sets the direction for your thoughts. Because if you do not choose your thoughts early on, the world will bombard you with random ones all day long. Now, let me offer a powerful real-world example. Consider the most successful athletes, CEOs, and artists. They have different professions, different incomes, and different personalities. But almost all of them share one thing. They do not begin their day with digital noise. They begin it with a personal routine. A visionary CEO does not open social media at 6 a.m. A world-class author does not read negative comments before brushing their teeth. A legendary investor does not scroll through photo feeds in bed. They use that first hour to cultivate the state of mind they need to perform at their peak all day. And it is not just about success. It is about inner peace. It is about starting the day from a position of strength, not stress. Because if the first hour of your day is weak, the rest of your day will be a constant struggle for control. But if the first hour is strong, then nothing can easily break you. This is how you build consistency. This is how you stop wondering, where did my day go? Reclaim your morning and your entire life will follow. Method 3. Focus on one high-impact task each day and win that day completely. We live in a society that preaches hustle, do more, stay busy. But the reality is that most people are not productive. They are just exhausted. They wake up and start tackling random tasks, sending a few emails, cleaning something, replying to messages, watching videos about how to be productive. At the end of the day, they feel drained but also unfulfilled because they did not move forward. They just moved around in circles. That is the painful truth of most people's 24 hours. They are active but not advancing, busy but not building. That is why this third method is non-negotiable. Every day, select one task, the most crucial one, and commit to finishing it no matter what. This is your high-impact task. It is the one thing that, if completed, makes the entire day feel like a success. How do you identify it? Ask yourself, if I could only accomplish one thing today, which action would make my future better? Which one brings me closer to my long-term goal? For instance, if you are learning English, your high-impact task might be to have a 30-minute conversation without stopping. If you are starting a creative project, perhaps it is finishing a script or recording the audio. If you are building your physical health, maybe it is that 40-minute workout. It does not have to be a monumental task, but it must be focused and it must be completed. Here is the effect this has on your brain. When you complete your high-impact task, you feel a sense of clarity, pride, and energy. Most importantly, you feel in control. Even if the rest of your day gets chaotic, if that one powerful task is done, you still feel like a winner. You do not need 10 perfect hours. You need one focused hour that makes a real difference. This is how the top 1% operate. They do not scatter their energy across 100 trivial things. They concentrate their power on what truly matters. They do it with intention and secure their victory for the day. The rest is just noise, because progress is not about doing more things. It is about doing the important things with all your heart, without distractions, and without excuses. That one task, completed with deep focus every day for 90 days, that is how people transform their lives. Not by working 18-hour days, not by copying someone else, not by waiting for the perfect moment, but by mastering one thing a day, over and over again. If you are tired of feeling stuck, overwhelmed, and scattered, this is your path forward. One task every day. No excuses. That is how empires are built. Method 4. Guard your growth hours like a warrior guards treasure. Let me begin by stating a truth most people avoid. Your dreams are not dying because you lack time. Your dreams are dying because you fail to protect the time you already have. In a 24-hour day, every person has the same basic structure. Roughly 8 hours are dedicated to survival, your job, school, or responsibilities. About 8 hours are for sleep and recovery. The remaining 8 hours are the most powerful, most perilous, and most wasted hours in modern history. Why perilous? Because these 8 hours are where your real life is either forged or forfeited. Most people squander these hours watching videos they will not remember, discussing people who do not matter, and engaging in activities that do not improve their future. Then they wonder, why is my life not getting better? It is because the hours designated for transformation are being used for distraction. But the top 1% see these hours differently. To them, those 8 hours are sacred. That is when they read. That is when they build. That is when they learn. That is when they practice. That is when they rewrite their own story. Let us be honest. If you work a standard job, you come home feeling tired. but between 6 p.m. and midnight, you still possess 6 hours. That is more than enough time to learn a new language, launch a creative channel, work on your health, improve your English skills, start a side business, read a few pages of a powerful book, fix your routine, change your mindset, and build a better future. But you must fight for those hours because the world will try to steal them through messages, notifications, gossip, fatigue, and excuses. The key is to treat those hours as if they are worth millions, because they are. The world's most successful individuals did not magically invent extra hours. They simply refused to waste their designated growth time. There is a reason why great thinkers and innovators throughout history have cherished their time for reading and reflection. They were not just working non-stop, they were growing. They understood that wealth and success do not come from mindless activity. They come from better thinking, continuous learning, and superior habits. They protected their growth time like a king guards his throne. So should you. Because if you allow the world to invade your growth hours, the world will dictate the course of your life. Here is what you need to do. First, identify your growth hours. For some, it is 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. For others, it is 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. The specific time does not matter. What matters is that you choose them. Second, design those hours in advance. Do not say, "I will figure it out later." That is a trap. Create a growth plan for those hours. For example, 20 minutes of reading, 30 minutes of speaking practice, 30 minutes of working on your project, 10 minutes of journaling. Third, create a rule. No one can interrupt you. Your growth hours are the oxygen for your future. Turn off phone notifications. Put it in airplane mode. Inform your family, these 2 hours are for my development. This single decision to protect your growth time will make your 24 hours 10 times more powerful. It is not about having time. It is about having respect for your time. You are not too busy. You are just underprotecting your future. Method 5. Replace mindless consumption with intentional learning. This one change alone could rebuild your brain. Let me be direct. Your phone is not the problem. Your addiction to meaningless content is. Let us do a quick reality check. How many times a day do you unlock your phone without a specific purpose? Watch videos that teach you nothing of value. Scroll for 45 minutes and then wonder, what did I just watch? Feel more tired after consuming content instead of energized. That is because you are consuming without purpose, without direction, and without boundaries. And slowly, without you even noticing, your mind becomes heavy. Your focus weakens. Your motivation vanishes. Not because there is something wrong with you, but because you are overloaded with digital junk. You are feeding your brain with the equivalent of mental fast food every single hour. And just as the body gets sick from a diet of junk food, the brain gets weak from a diet of junk information. But here is the good news. The human brain is the most adaptable and retrainable instrument on Earth. If you change what you feed it, it will change what it produces. So, here is the golden rule. Transform your consumption into education. Turn your distractions into direction. Turn your scrolling into a strategy. You do not have to stop watching videos, just change what you watch. You do not have to stop using your phone, just change why you use it. Here is what you can do starting today. Choose one platform to learn from each day, not for entertainment, but for transformation. Maybe it is educational podcasts. Maybe it is a motivational story. Maybe it is a 10-minute talk on a new subject. Just one piece of content a day that improves your mind. Download 3 audio files that teach you something valuable. Listen to them while walking, cooking, or commuting. This converts dead time into growth time. Replace 15 minutes of aimless scrolling with 15 minutes of writing. Write about your day, your thoughts, what you learned, what confused you. This practice improves your clarity, language skills, memory, and sense of control. Because learning no longer requires a classroom. It just requires a choice. Let me give you one of the most powerful real-world examples that proves this. When polymaths and innovators are asked how they built knowledge in so many different fields, their answer is often remarkably simple. I read a lot of books. I talked to experts. I learned constantly, not through formal degrees or a genius IQ, but through persistent, intentional learning. They turned every available moment into an opportunity to learn. And so can you. Because you do not need a school, you need a standard. You need to declare, my time is valuable. I refuse to waste it on things that do not build me up. Replace mindless consumption with powerful, intentional learning, and your brain will stop feeling tired. It will start feeling sharp. This one shift can change how you think, how you speak, and how you live. Not next year. Now, method 6. Move your body to reset your brain daily without excuses. Let me start by telling you a truth that is rarely discussed. Your brain might not be tired. Your body might just be inactive, and that is what is killing your focus, energy, and confidence. We live in a world where almost everything is done while sitting. Work is sitting. Studying is sitting. Entertainment is sitting. Even communicating with people is now often done while lying on a bed, staring at a screen. And slowly, the body forgets its natural state of movement. But when the body forgets how to move, the mind forgets how to think clearly. Science has proven this time and again. Movement is not just for physical fitness. Movement is essential for memory, attention, emotional resilience, mental clarity, breaking anxiety, alleviating depression, and awakening your true potential. And here is what successful people do differently. They do not work all day hoping to find energy. They generate energy through movement every single day. Not because they are obsessed with the gym, but because they understand that a stationary body leads to a stagnant mind. A moving body creates a powerful life. Think about some of the most brilliant minds in history. Many of them were known for their long walks, which they used for deep thinking and problem solving. Modern leaders and innovators also schedule physical activity not just for their muscles, but for their mental mastery. Because your body is not just a vessel. It is the engine that powers your brain. You do not need a gym membership. You do not need expensive equipment. You do not need 2 hours. You just need motion. Motion can be a 15-minute walk in the morning, stretching while listening to an audiobook, dancing in your room to an energetic song, doing 30 jumping jacks between tasks, doing push-ups while a video loads, deep breathing combined with arm movements. Every time you feel stuck, heavy, lost, tired, or bored, do not turn to your phone. Turn to your feet. Move even for just 60 seconds and you will feel an immediate shift. Not someday, not after a month. Within minutes, your mood will change. Your mind will unlock. Your focus will return. Your spirit will feel alive again. That is not just motivation. That is biology. There is a deep-seated instinct in the human body that says, when I move, I am safe. When I move, I am powerful. When I move, I am becoming. Look at the discipline in elite organizations like the military. Every single day, no matter how tired or what the mission is, soldiers wake up and move. They train, they march, they stretch, they lift. Why? Because they cannot afford to feel lazy. They need their minds to be sharp and their will to be unbreakable. And they know it all begins with the body. Your life is your mission. Treat it like one. Move like someone who is fighting for something greater because you are. The body is the first battlefield. Win there and the rest of the battle becomes easier. So do not wait until you feel like it. Feelings follow action, not the other way around. Start moving and watch what happens to your life. Method 7. Say no without guilt because every yes has a price. This is one of the most difficult lessons in life, but also one of the most liberating. If you do not learn to say no, you will spend your entire life saying yes to the wrong things and wondering why you feel tired, lost, and disconnected from your own purpose. Most people do not lack time. They just give it away too easily. Let us be honest. How many times have you said yes to things that did not help you, did not excite you, and did not contribute to your growth? You said yes to participating in gossip because you did not want to seem rude. You said yes to scrolling through feeds with a friend because you felt a fear of missing out. You said yes to helping someone even when you were completely exhausted, just because you were afraid of disappointing them. You said yes to just 5 more minutes of distraction and lost 2 hours. And each time, you paid a price with your focus, your energy, your growth, and your goals. You cannot become your best self if you are constantly being pulled in 50 different directions. This is why successful people are not just busy, they are strategic and protected. They protect their time. They protect their attention. They protect their energy as if it were treasure because they know the truth. Time is life. And every yes is a piece of that life you will never get back. If someone asked you for $100 every day for no reason, you would eventually say no. But when someone asks for 2 hours of your time, you say yes again and again. Why? Because we have been conditioned to feel guilty for saying no. But listen closely. Saying no does not mean you are rude. Saying no does not mean you are selfish. Saying no means you are finally prioritizing your dreams, your mental health, and your purpose above distractions. You do not need to argue. You do not need to over-explain. You do not even need to feel bad about it. You can simply say, I am sorry, but I have other priorities right now. I am focusing on something important. I am not available, but I appreciate you thinking of me. That is it. Your future will not be defined by the things you said yes to. It will be built upon the foundation of the things you had the courage to refuse. Look at highly focused artists and creators. They are famous for blocking out large chunks of their calendar with 0 appointments, just so they can think, create, and focus. People would beg for those time slots, but they would say no. Not because they are arrogant, but because they understood the immense value of saying no, even to good opportunities, so they could remain focused on the great ones. And if the most successful people in the world are saying no to protect their future, you and I have no excuse not to. Say no to meaningless chatter. Say no to your 20th notification of the hour. Say no to people who drain your energy. Say no to anything that does not help you grow. Every yes has a cost. Start spending your life more wisely. The moment you do, you will feel something strange but powerful. Peace. Because peace does not come from doing more. It comes from doing less of what does not matter. Method 8. Create moments of pause in your day, because even lions rest before they hunt. Let us begin with a concept the modern world has forgotten. You are not a machine. You are a human being, and human beings were never designed to be in constant motion 24/7. But look around you. Everyone is running, chasing something, jumping from one screen to another, from one thought to the next, from one app to another. There is no pause, no breath, no silence, no stillness. And what is the result? Mental fatigue, emotional chaos, overthinking, stress, burnout, and worst of all, a life that feels fast-paced but empty. You start the day full of energy, but by 3 p.m., you do not even remember what you have accomplished. You just know you are tired, not because you are working too hard, but because you never stopped to recharge your battery. You never paused, you just kept pushing forward. That is the fundamental mistake. The truth is, your mind is not an engine that runs better the more you use it. Your mind is more like a battery, and every few hours it needs to be recharged. Not with food, not with entertainment, but with stillness. Successful people understand this principle deeply. They do not just work hard. They recover smart. They have built-in pause rituals. Think about it. Pilots do not fly for 12 hours straight without breaks. Surgeons do not perform operations for 14 hours without pauses. Professional athletes, the strongest and fittest people on the planet, rest between sets, take water breaks, stretch, breathe, and reset. They do this because they know that rest is not a sign of weakness. Rest is preparation for peak performance. Now, how do you apply this to your 24 hours? You build 3 simple pause moments into your day. First, a morning pause before the world touches your mind. After waking up, and before touching your phone, sit in stillness for 3 to 5 minutes. This is not about strict discipline or meditation. It is just about being present, feel your breath, observe your thoughts without judgment. You are reminding yourself, this is my life, not the internet's, not the world's. Second, a midday pause between chaos and clarity. Sometime between lunch and the afternoon slump, take a 10-minute reset. Step away from all screens. Walk outside if you can. Close your eyes. Drink a glass of water slowly. Listen to the ambient sounds or to silence. This is not wasting time. It is restoring your ability to think clearly. Third, a night pause before you sleep, not scroll. At night before bed, create silence again. Not with music, not with a podcast, but pure silence. Reflect on your day. Ask yourself, what did I learn today? What am I proud of? What is something I should stop doing? This one pause gives your brain permission to end the day peacefully. It improves your sleep quality. It enhances your clarity. It builds a better future. And no, you will not fall behind by pausing. You will actually move ahead faster because you will be operating from a place of intentional rest. Remember this forever. If you never pause, your mind will eventually break. But if you pause, even for a few minutes, your mind will reward you with creativity, power, and peace. Even lions rest before they hunt. You are not being lazy when you pause. You are becoming dangerous again. Method 9. Sleep like a warrior preparing for battle, not like a slave escaping the day. This might surprise some people, but it is the absolute truth. If you ruin your night, you will lose the next day before it even begins. Everyone wants to have energy. Everyone wants to feel motivated. Everyone wants a clear mind. Everyone wants to be focused. But 90% of them are actively destroying those very things every single night. They go to sleep surrounded by noise. They go to sleep while scrolling. They fall asleep holding a phone as if it were a teddy bear. Their room is filled with artificial light. Their brain is filled with stress. Their routine is filled with chaos. And then they wonder, why am I so tired in the morning? Why can I not wake up early? Why do I feel heavy even after sleeping for 8 hours? Because it is not just about the duration of your sleep. It is about the depth and quality of your sleep, and that is determined by how you prepare for it. Sleep is not just recovery. Sleep is preparation. Think of elite soldiers. When they sleep before a critical mission, they do not waste time. They do not scroll through feeds. They do not party. They prepare because the next day, their lives depend on them being sharp. Your life is no different. Every day, you are stepping onto the battlefield of your own ambitions. And if your mind is foggy, your spirit will feel weak. So here is how you master sleep like a warrior. First, power down your mind. 1 hour before bed, stop consuming new information. No social media, no news, no notifications. Allow your brain to calm down. You would not keep feeding fuel into an engine right before you shut it down. You let it cool first. Do the same with your brain. Second, create a ritual. Let your body know it is time to rest. That ritual could be a warm shower, reading 1 page of a physical book, writing down your 3 goals for tomorrow, or sitting in silence. Do the same thing every night. Your body will learn the signal and begin to fall asleep faster and more deeply. Third, make your room a sanctuary of rest. No bright lights. Keep the room cool and dark. Remove clutter. Use a low-light lamp if needed. If possible, keep your phone in another room entirely. This sends a powerful message to your brain. This space is for peace, and your brain will respond accordingly. Fourth, wake up with a reason. Do not just sleep to escape the day. Sleep with a purpose so you can wake up with strength. When you go to sleep with your goals already written down, when you go to sleep with a clear mind, when you go to sleep in silence, you wake up ready to build, not just to survive. And here is the most powerful truth about sleep. You are not lazy if you prioritize deep sleep. You are strategic. Because the sharper your mind is, the faster your decisions are. The faster your actions are, the quicker your results will be. The secret to a sharp mind is not more caffeine, it is better sleep. So do not chase success by sacrificing your sleep. Build your success by protecting your sleep. It is not about being tired and proud of it. It is about being well-rested and formidable. Method 10. Repeat a great day until it becomes your great life. Here is the final truth. Success is not hidden in some secret formula. It is hidden inside a single, well-designed day and your ability to repeat it. Let that sink in for a moment. Everyone is searching for the next big secret, the new productivity app, the perfect schedule, the ultimate life hack, the shortcut, the magical burst of motivation. But they are ignoring the most powerful system in the world. One strong day, repeated without excuses. That is the entire game. Because one day, just one, where you wake up with clarity, plan your objectives, protect your energy, learn, move, create, grow, and sleep with peace. That one single day is more powerful than 100 days lived in confusion. The problem is not that people do not have good days. The problem is they do not repeat them. They treat every day like a completely different movie, with a new mood, a new excuse, a new plan, and new distractions. But the truly successful, they live the same powerful day over and over and over again. And the result of that repetition is consistency, momentum, progress, mastery, clarity, and a life they are proud to live. Let us go deeper. If I were to ask you right now, what does your ideal day look like? Most people would have no answer because they have never intentionally designed it. They have never studied their own life. They have never taken the time to figure out, when do I feel most focused? When do I have the most energy? What activities drain me? What activities strengthen me? What is the simplest version of an ideal day that I can repeat 100 times? This is your mission now. Design one perfect day. Make it simple, repeatable, and powerful. This does not mean every single hour has to be perfect. It does not mean you will never have setbacks. It means you construct a daily framework that includes everything you need to become the person you were meant to be. Maybe your perfect day looks something like this. Wake up early, move your body, write down 3 main goals, dedicate 3 hours to deep work or study, take scheduled breaks, learn something new, connect with someone meaningful, create something, whether it is a video, a piece of writing, or a new idea, take a walk in the evening, go to sleep on time, then wake up and start again tomorrow. That is it. One great day. Now your job is to do it again and again and again. This is how you stop waiting for the right time. This is how you stop starting over every single Monday. This is how you stop saying, "Someday I will." This is how you build a life that others respect, but more importantly, a life that you respect. Here is a real-world perspective that proves this truth. Think of a master musician. How did they achieve greatness? Not because of one magical concert, not because of some mysterious inborn talent. It was because they showed up to practice with the same dedication every single day. They repeated the same scales, the same exercises, the same difficult passages day after day, year after year. They did not wait for inspiration to strike. They did not try to reinvent their craft every morning. They mastered the fundamentals and repeated the process of greatness. That is why the world calls them masters. And if legends are created by repeating the right day, why are you wasting your days chasing something new, something different, something exciting? You do not need more variety in your routine. You need more discipline. Not perfection, but consistency. Because the truth is, you already know what works. You just have not done it for long enough. This is your final and most powerful method. Design one strong day and repeat it until you no longer recognize the life you are living, because you have built something 100 times better. If you have made it this far, then something inside you is still alive. The dream, the fire, the hunger, the belief that you can do more, that you can become something greater. I am not here to sell you temporary motivation. I am here to tell you the truth. You already possess everything you need. You do not need a perfect command of English. You do not need wealthy parents. You do not need a lucky break. You need one thing and one thing only, a profound respect for your 24 hours. Because every day, life hands you a full tank of time, and you get to decide where to drive it. Some people drive it towards regret. Some drive it towards excuses. Some drive it towards fleeting pleasure. And some, a rare few, drive it straight towards their purpose. Now ask yourself, where have you been driving your 24 hours? Because from this moment forward, you are no longer allowed to say, "I do not have time." From this moment forward, your 24 hours are no longer just a routine. They are your weapons, your armor, your blueprint, and your foundation. You are building something powerful now, one day at a time. No more wasted hours. No more false starts. No more living small. This is your moment. I want you to remember this one final sentence for the rest of your life. Every second you waste is a second you steal from your future self. But every second you use with purpose is a gift that will change your entire life. Use your 24 hours as if your dream depends on it, because it does. Thank you for listening. Now, close this and go build the life you were meant to live.